Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and I thought we could talk a little bit of Wally West and Season 4. Well, as many of you know, there probably isn't a bigger and more sad moment in the history of Young Justice than the finale of Season 2 and the death of Wally West. Since Wally left the team, many of us fans, myself included, have long speculated about the return of the character. It is a really enthusiastic conversation, and many fans are very passionate about the return of Wally. The show has made multiple teases over the last couple of years, but I have to wonder, after the conclusion of Young Justice fandoms, is it time to accept that Wally is gone? I thought we could take a couple minutes to talk about that and dive into why there's a distinct possibility Wally really is dead. Now, this campaign for Wally actually started almost 10 years ago. The final episode of Season 2 actually aired on March the 16th. And if you remember correctly, he died while saving the Earth from Black Beetle's last attempt at destroying the planet, where Wally appeared to be absorbed by some energy force, many people believing it was the Speed Force, and disappearing from existence. As many of you know, we had a huge Wally West tease this season, and many of us felt like we might even have some resolution to the story. Connor Kent was banished to the Phantom Zone, and there he actually saw a hallucination of Wally. Now, this hallucination grabbed fans' attention because he wasn't drawn like the other hallucinations. He looked very similar to other inhabitants of the Phantom Zone, leading many of us, myself included, into speculating that Wally was actually transported to the Phantom Zone at the end of Season 2. Now, we talked about this a little bit on the channel, but eventually Greg Weisman kind of debunked that, pointing out that that particular hallucination was because Connor thought Wally was dead, and at that time, Connor thought he was dead, which makes a lot of sense, but I don't think it was put there by accident. Greg and his team are well aware of how much fans love this character and how much they want Wally to return, so I don't think they put this tease in there for absolutely no reason, but quite honestly, it was the best potential for the character to return as of yet, and he didn't. That should tell us something. We spent a ton of time this season grieving. It was for Connor, but it truly was grief for the loss of a friend. Now, if you're familiar with grief, there are multiple phases, and one of those phases is acceptance. And I am starting to wonder if it's time for many of us to enter the acceptance phase that Wally West may indeed be dead. There's a very large minority opinion, including on this channel, of people that feel like Wally's never coming back, that Greg Weisman and the development team put stakes in death, and Wally's disappearance and his lack of return indicates he really is going to stay dead. Quite honestly, they have a really good point, and I have to say, as we run into more dead ends searching for Wally West, I'm starting to wonder if they very well may be right. Now, there are a couple things to consider. Remember, he died at the end of Season 2, and it's been a long time in our years, but not an incredible long time for the show. Additionally, they were not able to contact Wally in Season 3. Remember when Zatanna offered Artemis a little bit of closure with Wally? And as many of you know, that was basically a pure illusion and a lie, and she even admitted she was unable to find Wally's spirit. If you remember, when they talked about Connor, they were unable to locate him in the afterlife also. And since they couldn't locate Wally, I don't think this is a writing error. I think they're pointing to something there, and that also might not be a dead end. Now, they did have lots of avenues, though, that are considered closed. The Phantom Zone is at the top of that list, but also the speculation that he could be with the Legion of Superheroes in the future now both appear to be dead ends. These are some things we should consider when weighing the possibilities that Wally won't come back, and the storytellers might be just piquing our interest with the possibilities, but may never deliver. As far as what I think, well, I really do want to see Wally return, but I also don't want to dwell on or undermine the death of that character. It really was a great scene, and Wally did what he had to do to save his friends. That sacrifice should be honored in a storytelling process, and bringing characters back from the dead often undermines that, and I don't want to do that to the bigger story. Now, honestly think, if Greg and Drew wanted him dead, they would have given us a little bit of definitive information. We all read comics, and we know if there's no body, somebody's not dead, and we just basically saw Wally disappear, and in the comic book world, that basically means they're coming back. Now, lots of fans are very passionate about this. That's actually why we talk about it quite a bit. And I would love to know what you guys think about the other possibilities of where Wally West is. We've done multiple videos about Wally, and it turns out after these 2 seasons, we still haven't seen him come back, so I am starting to wonder if we also have hit dead ends and it's time to reconsider our position. This is also another really big reason to push HBO Max for a 5th season. If Greg and team are bringing back Wally West, we're going to need more Young Justice, and that's where it's going to be. So speaking of that, make sure you keep up with those Young Justice hashtags. Renew Young Justice Season 5, and save Earth 16. Keep it positive and make sure you tag HBO Max and Warner Brothers Discoveries so they know how much we want a new season of the show. But until we know more, what do you guys think? Do you think Wally West is actually alive somewhere in the Earth 16 universe? Or are you in the camp that believes Wally is truly dead and it's time to move on? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.